Hello class, and welcome to this week's mini sociology lesson. Today's lesson will be an introduction to the concept of social stratification and social status. So now that we have covered the differences between individualistic and collectivist societies, as well as how multiculturalism is defined in Canadian society, let's focus our attention on the inequalities within our social structures and institutions. So what is social stratification? Social stratification is essentially a social hierarchy. It is referred to as an institutionalized system of social inequality. It is a situation in which the divisions and relationships of social inequality have solidified into a system that determines who gets what, when, and why. So when we look at the pyramid framework describing social stratification, we can see that people who have more resources represent the top tier of the social structure of stratification. So in this case, it would be the upper class, the upper middle class, and even the lower middle class. While other groups of people with progressively fewer and fewer resources represent the lower tiers of our society. So the working class, the working poor, and the underclass. Social stratification essentially assigns people to socioeconomic strata based on factors like wealth, power, prestige, income, education, and even race. It's also important to note that stratification is not about individual inequalities, but rather systematic inequalities. However, to better understand social stratification at its core, it's important to understand that members of a society are classified based on social status. So what is social status? Social status is referred to the position a person holds in society. Since individuals belong to more than one group, they have different statuses. For our purposes today, the two types of statuses that we are going to be looking at are achieve status and ascribe status. So, what is achieve status? Achieve status is a position an individual holds based on their accomplishments or role. Some examples of this is being an Olympic athlete or being a college professor. It reflects the personal skills, abilities, and efforts a person holds or can achieve, because people have to work towards earning this status. Whereas ascribed status is referred to the position an individual holds that is determined by traits inherited at birth. So, ascribed status is a position that is neither earned nor chosen, but assigned. These social designators remain fixed throughout an individual's life and are inseparable from the positive and negative stereotypes that are linked to one's ascribed status. For example, I have brown eyes. That is an ascribed status that I cannot change. To even refer our attention to this image here. Another example of ascribed status is being a daughter or a sister or being a female. Another few examples of achieved status is being a friend, maybe being a student, and even being a worker. Next class, we will discuss these concepts more in depth by examining how systems of stratification come to be formed. And what is the basis of systematic social inequality in society? Until then, have a good day.